Hey, here we go, and welcome to your Module 1, Lesson 5 invitations. As usual, we'll start with a very simple invitation that I invite you to every single time, really. Go back over this lesson at least two more times so that it's sinking. Now, I know I say that on every lesson, but this one is particularly important because, in many respects, the ACC lesson lays the foundation for most of the work that you're ever going to do as a coach. So as we progress forward throughout the program, you're going to see how often ACC comes up, and you're going to start to see these patterns in your clients of ACC triggering, whether it be off the back of a social disconnection, you're feeling not accepted, connected, and cared. So what's the opposite of that? It's feeling kind of judged, separated, isolated, pushed away, and a lack of care, a kind of a disinterest in them. So these are the things that will generally tend to lead to triggering. It's vital that you're able to both see that in how they show up in life, but also kind of pick that out of language patterns and things where you hear them complaining or being upset. For example, you may hear someone at the office, complaining, for example, of a boss being really unfair to them, or how can they do this to us, and how can they make us do these things or work longer hours. Well, when you really boil that down, that's a social hierarchy issue, right? It's someone considering that they were in a certain place, feeling ill put upon by someone higher up the social hierarchy, and not really having the language skills or the framework inside of their own mind in order to effectively go and reassert their hierarchical position. Because remember, it's just a job, really. Kind of no matter what job we're in, it's still just a job. And there's no the hierarchy ends when the bell rings, or at least it should do, right? When the day is over. Many people kind of forget that, so they get really confused about their hierarchical positions, or they get confused about the connections that they have. They may really like their boss, and they don't want to let them down, and they don't want to kind of create a confusion between what they deem to be the friendship, and so they set themselves up for a bunch of failure by taking on too much work. These are just examples, but they're examples that you'll start to see again and again and again when you go back over the lesson, and when you kind of really let the ACC information sink in. So go over the lesson, observe those you come into contact with over the next 2 to 3 days. Really focus on what's creating their level of either threat or positivity in their life at that moment. So again, is it a social hierarchy problem that they're kind of feeling? When people very often, even people that are great fans of sports teams, when their sports team is winning, their social hierarchy is connected to the fact that their team has won the league or the pennant or the Super Bowl or whatever it happens to be. When their team loses, you see their behavior change, and they walk around stomping and breaking things and raising their voice to their families and all that. It's because their social hierarchy has gone down, because their team's social hierarchy has gone down. Okay, so you're going to see this again and again. Likewise, you may actually see positivity, or somebody's favorite athlete or favorite team wins a league or a pennant or a championship, and suddenly they're on cloud nine and they're walking around with a big smile on their face. How can it be that other players in the sport that you yourself aren't even taking part in are have the ability to kind of affect your mood and how you show up in the world? Well, it's an ACC thing. Okay, so you're going to get to see this more and more and more. Pay a lot of attention to what is creating someone's levels of threat and or positivity in their life at that particular moment. Just really keep an eye out over the next 2 to 3 days. And then have at least 3 conversations with others about their social connections and feelings of social hierarchy, right? Ask them where their main struggles lie, and try to connect the dots first for yourself. Like, okay, Mary is struggling with this problem, and it's a work problem, or it's a family problem, or it's a individual and intimate relationship problem, or it's a problem with our kids, or what you're going to see again and again and again, that most of the problems, most of the things that pull us off track generally tend to be social. And that's why I want to put so much emphasis on this ACC lesson, and really ask you to dive in, really ask you to reconnect to the work several times, and particularly pay attention to what's going on around you. And pay attention to what's going on in yourself too. Like, how does your mood change over the course of the next few days? And what is it that you observe in yourself when those moods change? Has there been a lack of acceptance? Did someone judge you? Did someone fail to connect with you? Or did someone try to over-connect with you? They barged their way into your life when you didn't want it. Was there a lack of care? Was there any form of change or attempted transference of your position in the social hierarchy? So important to figure these things out, because it also means that we can get ourselves back from those kind of threats and emotional disturbances really quickly too. Okay, so there's your invitations for this lesson. I hope you take them up. Again, once more, as usual, if you choose not to, right, there's no rules in this, but if you choose not to, ask yourself what it is that you're maybe avoiding or trying to get away from or keep from by not doing by not following up on the invitations for this lesson. They really do have a purpose, and obviously in spending the amount of time, effort, money and energy that you're spending to join this course, you have a big purpose. You want to be a great coach. So if you're being invited to take action, what's your reason for it? What's your rationale? What's the story that you're telling yourself? And I mean that with all greatest respect. But find yourself asking yourself that question whenever you decline an invitation. It's fully your right to do so, always, always, always. And it's something I'd love for you to extend and make clear to your clients, always, 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 that anyone can decline an invitation, but always question the decline. Okay, what is the reason for that? And you will learn so much and you become a much better coach as a result. Okay, so I'll see you in the next lesson. Take care.